if a number multiplied by 25% of itself gives a number which is 200% more than the number is. So let's assume here let the number be x, and here I am going to use percentage as in ratio. So 25% can be written as 1 by 4. So according to the question, number is multiplied by 25% means 1 by 4 of itself, that is x, giving us 200% more means 2 times of the number more than the number, that is x. So here x into x is x square by 4 is equals to 2x plus x is 3x. So here square and x gets cancelled. So the required number will be 4 into 3 is 12. The value of an article depreciates every year at rate of 10% of its value. If the present value of the article is 729, then its worth 3 years ago was. So first year here 10% means 1 by 10. So initially let's assume its value is 10. So every year its value is depreciating by 10%. So it is decreasing by 1. So initially 10 means 9. In second year also 10% it is decreasing. So 9. Third year also same. So present is 9 cube, which is given as 729. So this is 10 cube. So the value of the article 3 years ago was 1000 rupees. The price of onion has been increased by 50% in order to keep the expenditure on onions the same. The percentage of reduction in consumption has to be, so here 50% we will write it as 1 by 2. So price ratio, if you see initially and finally, so initially if it is 2 rupees, now it is available at 3 rupees. Why? Because 50% has been increased. So consumption ratio will be inversely proportional, so it will be 3:2 ratio. So consumption has been decreased by 1 unit on how much? 3 into 100% gives us reduction in consumption, which is equals to 33 1 by 3%. A man had a certain amount with him. He spends 20% of that to buy an article and 5% of the remaining on transport. Then he gifted 120 rupees. If he left with 1400 rupees, the amount he spent on transport is. So initially let's assume he is having 100 rupees. So he spent 20 rupees. So he will be left out with 80 rupees. So out of this 80 rupees, he spent 5% on transport. So 5% of 80 is 4. So now remaining amount left with him is 76. And from this 76 units, let's assume, so he has gifted 120 rupees. So total units left out with him is 76, that is 120 plus 1400 gives us 1520. So the 4 units of amount he has spent on transport, which is equivalent to 80 rupees. On transport. So 80 rupees has been spent on transport. In an examination, 52% of candidates failed in English exam, and 42% failed in mathematics. If 17% failed in both the subjects, then the percentage of candidates who passed in both subjects was. So here we'll solve this sum by using Venn diagrams. So here the common area, which is, so we'll write here failed data, that is failed students data. So 17% failed in both the subjects, so common part is 17, and here this part represents English, this part represents mathematics. So here in English, total 52% has been failed. So 35 plus 15, 17 gives us 52. And in max, 42 failed. So 17 plus 25 gives us 42. So total failed students in English, in max, as well as both the subjects are 35 plus 17 plus 25 gives us 77%. So now the remaining will be the candidates who passed in both the subjects. That is 23% students or candidates passed in both the subjects. In an election, there were only two candidates. One candidate secured 40% of votes and is defeated by other candidate by 298 votes. Total votes polled is. So here candidate B. So candidate A secured 40% of votes and candidate B secured 60% of votes. So here candidate B is getting 20% more votes, and that 20% in question is given as 298 votes. So total votes polled will be 100%. So 100% of votes polled will be equivalent to 1490. A number increased by 22.5% gives 98. Then the number is. Here 22.5%. That is 22 1 by 2. In fraction can be written as 9 by 40. So initially the number, let's assume initial number is 40. So number is increased by 22.5%, that is 9 units. So initially is 40, now it is increased to 49, and according to question this increased number is 98 given, which is 2 times. So original number also is to be increased by 2 times, so the required number is 80. In an examination, A got 25% marks more than B got 10% less than C, and C got 25% more than D. If D got 320 marks out of 500, the marks obtained by A were. So here we have 4 students, A, B, C, D, and D got 320 marks. And if you come back to statement, C got 25% more than D. So 25% means 1 by 4. 10% means 1 by 10 in fraction if you write. 25% means 1 by 4. So C is getting 25% marks more than D means. So he is getting 1/4 marks more than that of 320. that will be equivalent to 1/4 of 320 is 80. So C is getting 320 plus 80, which is 400 marks. Now coming back to the question, B got 10% less than C. So B is getting 10% less than C. So C is 400. So if 10% less means 40 marks less. So B is getting 360 marks. Less means we'll subtract. So 400 minus 40 gives us 360. And A got 25% marks more than B. So that is 1/4 of 360 gives us 90. So 90 plus 360. So the marks obtained will be by A is 90 plus 360, which is 450. So marks obtained by A is 450 marks. Three sets of 40, 50, 60 students appeared for an examination, and the pass percentage was 100, 90, and 80 respectively. The pass percentage of whole set is, so here candidates appeared or students appeared in an exam 40, 50, 60, 100%, 90%, and 80%. So 100% of 40 is 40, and 90% of 50 candidates is appeared is 45, and 80% of 60 candidates have been appeared, that is passed, that is 48. Total is 150%, 150. So here 40 plus 45 plus 48 gives us 133 by 150 into 100% gives us 53 times, 52 times. So 133 into 2 is 266 by 3, which will be equivalent to 88, 2 by 3%. If each edge of a cube is increased by 50%, the percentage increase in surface area is. So here 50% in fraction, if you write, it is 1 by 2. So initially the side, let's assume, is 2. Then increased value is 1. So if you take initial and final of side, so initially it's 2 and it is increased by 50%, that is 1 unit, so 3. So area will be increased by square times, that is 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9. So increase in surface area is 5 units has been increased on 4 into 100% gives us 125%. So if each edge of a cube is increased by 50%, percentage increase in surface area is 125%. If each side of a cube is increased by 10%, the volume of cube will be increased by. So if you take side as initial and final, and 10% is 1 by 10. So initially let's assume side is 10. So increased is by 1 unit, 10% means 1 unit, so 11. So cube volume means cube times will cube the side cube. So 10 cube is and 11 cube. 10 cube is 1000, 11 cube is 1331, and the volume increased by 33.1%. A reduction of 21% in the price of an item enables a person to buy 3 kg more for rupees 100. The reduced price of item per kg is. So here if we have 100 rupees and 21% of it will be equivalent to 21 rupees. So this 21 rupees enabling uh, the person to buy 3 kg more. So per kg will be 21 by 7, 21 by 3, that is 7 rupees per kg. So reduced price of item per kg is 7 rupees. The number that is to be added to 10% of 320 to have sum has 30% of 230 is. So we'll write question 10% of 320 plus the number which we have to add. We don't know that number is given as is the same as 30% of 230. This is the given data in the question. So now 10% of 320 is 32 plus with the number which we have to add we don't know. But if you add those two numbers you are getting 30% of 230, that is 69. So the number which you have to add is equivalent to 69 minus 32, that is equals to 37. So 37 must be added to 32 to get 69. The strength of a school increases and decreases in every alternate year by 10%. It started with increase in 20 per, it started with increase in 2000, then the strength of the school in 2003 has compared to that in 2000 was. So here percentage is increasing and decreasing alternatively given. And how much? 10%. So 10% is 1 by 10. So initially in the first year, let's assume strength is 10 units. On 10 units 10% has been increased, so it became 11 units. And again alternatively increasing decreasing, so second year it has been decreased by 10%. So 10% of 11 is 1.1, so decreased value is 9.9. On 9.9 again uh, it is increased by 10%, which is equals to 0.99. So 9.9 plus 0.99 is 10.89. So from initial to final if you see, so it is we can see some increase, and how by how much? 8.9%, increased by 8.9%.